Well, good evening and welcome to this week's news programme from the heart of White Regis. It's just 30 seconds past 6 o'clock and it's good that you've joined me this week. In the news this week, places are up for grabs on Weldmar's annual Overseas Challenge for 2022. It's a trek across the Sahara Desert. Apart from the pandemic hitting in 2020, Weldmar have organised fundraising adventures all over the globe every year since 2013, raising vital funds towards the end-of-life care that the charity provides in Dorset. The first of these challenges, as it happens, was across the Sahara, which saw 22 supporters take part and raising £45,000. And Elaine Harmon from Weldmar's fundraising team is looking forward to making a return visit. She said, "It's going to be an incredible experience for anyone taking part. We'll be trekking through beautiful scenery by day and sleeping under the stars at night. We'll even be baking bread in the hot sand and immersing ourselves in the local culture. There's plenty of support and team building before we go on the trip." Participants will join local Berbers and camels for the 4-day trek, and there will be a chance to explore the city of Marrakech before heading home. A minimum of £1,500 needs to be raised for Weldmar Hospice Care to take part, and there is a £340 registration fee for the trek. It departs on the 10th of November 2022. For more details of how to sign up, go across to the Weldmar Hospice webpage at weld-hospice.org.uk and you'll find everything you need to know there. Well, there's a different way to raise funds, not like our traditional sponsored walks. A man has been charged and is due to appear in court following a suspected drug deal where he reportedly became violent towards police officers in Weymouth. At around 6:30 on Wednesday the 7th of July, officers responded to a report of a suspected drug deal taking place on Rodwell Road, and a man was subsequently detained for a search in Garibaldi Row. The man reportedly became violent and was involved in a struggle with the two officers who attempted to detain him. One officer sustained cuts onto his arms and leg, and another suffered a head injury and was taken to hospital as a precaution. 2 packages containing a number of wraps suspected of Class A drugs were reportedly located at the scene of the struggle. A 25-year-old man from Weymouth was arrested and has been charged with obstructing police constable in the execution of their duty, possessing of a controlled drug, and possession with intent to supply a controlled Class A drug. He's due to appear in Liverpool Magistrates Court shortly. Dorset Police are also appealing for witnesses or anyone who has CCTV or camera footage of the incident to come forward. Now, another police story now. Dorset Police are also appealing for witnesses after a woman was bitten by a dog in Chickerell Road. The incident happened at around 11:30 on Friday the 2nd of July. The victim was walking on Chickerell Road with friends when they approached Boot Hill traffic lights under the arch and heard a dog bark from the other side of the road. The dog, which was wearing a rope-style lead, became loose and ran straight towards the victim. The victim, a local woman aged in her 30s, was bitten and sustained a puncture wound that was treated in hospital. She also sustained bruised ribs. So that's 11:30 p.m. on Friday the 2nd of July if you're in that area. The owner of the dog is described as a white woman aged in her late 30s, approximately 5 feet tall and of medium build and a scruffy appearance, possibly with bleached hair with dark roots. So there's an appeal for that. And finally, another appeal for Dorset Police. They are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information to come forward following criminal damage incident in Weymouth. It was reported that sometime between 2:40 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday the 5th of July that petrol was poured over a front door and through the letterbox of an address in Wyke Road. A green petrol can with ribbons attached was found outside the property. Now, this was obviously very frightening for those at that home. So that's 2:40 to 3 p.m. on Monday the 5th of July. Petrol poured over the front door and through a letterbox of an address in Wyke Road. If you know anything about any of those incidents, or you've got mobile phone footage or pictures or CCTV or car dash cam footage, please do give Dorset Police a call on 101, or alternatively, if you've got any information you wish to provide anonymously, do go through the Crime Stoppers charity, where you can make anonymous reports of information on free phone 0800 555 111. There we go, a lot there from Dorset Police this week. A team from Waterside Holiday Group have raised over $2,500 through sponsorship on a walk through their Just Giving page for Weldmar Hospice, and the amount has been matched by Waterside, bringing the total to £5,326. Waterside's Group General Manager Alan Main, who took part in the walk, commented, "Weldmar Hospice Care plays a fundamental role in the Dorset community, supporting many local patients and their families with the highest quality of care. As only 21% of their funds are provided by the NHS, the charity relies on fundraising initiatives to help them continue offer exceptional services. We believe it's crucial for local businesses like ours to support such worthy causes in our community, and it was great to see multiple team members take part in our Weldmar Walk. A challenging but very rewarding initiative, which we hope will help make a difference to a highly regarded charity in Dorset." Weymouth College, let me find Weymouth College, there's Weymouth College. Weymouth College are celebrating as two of their students have achieved national recognition. At Wednesday the 11th annual Pearson BTEC Awards ceremony, the exceptional achievements of Weymouth College BTEC students Tamrin Williams, who was on the construction course, and Meredith Samways on the sports course, were celebrated as they were each awarded a coveted Bronze BTEC Learner of the Year award. Commenting on Tamrin's achievements, Maria Norris, who's one of the lecturers at Weymouth College, said, "We are all very proud of Tamrin's achievements here at Weymouth College and in admiration of her determination and commitment to her course, especially through the pandemic. We look forward to seeing her again, a successful future career in civil engineering," and again a successful future career in civil engineering. Meredith's success was similarly wholeheartedly praised by Martin Oliver, another tutor at the college. "Meredith thoroughly deserves this national recognition and has been a fantastic sport and exercise science student at Weymouth College. Her strong work ethic and supportive nature leaves me in no doubt that she will have a fantastic career as a primary school teacher, and we wish her all the very best in her future career." At Wednesday's online awards event, 19 category award winners were celebrated from around the UK and internationally in subjects such as health and social care, performing arts, engineering, IT, business and sport. BTEC and Weymouth College alumni Gareth Ellis Owens, Academy Award winning producer and head of film and animation at Screen Skills, was among those presenting the awards. And that's good to hear that Gareth is helping back in that way as someone who went to schools in Weymouth and Weymouth College. Dorset Museum. Dorset Museum has been shortlisted for a Kids in Museums Family Friendly National Award. The charity Kids in Museums has run a prestigious annual award for the last 15 years, recognising the most family friendly heritage sites in the UK. It is the only museum award to be judged by families. From April to June, families across the UK voted for their favourite heritage attraction on the Kids in Museums website. A panel of museum experts then whittled down hundreds of nominations to a shortlist of 20 heritage attractions, with Dorset Museum shortlisted alongside 4 other small museums from across the country in the Best Small Museum category. Dorset Museum's Executive Director, Dr. John Murden, said, "Making families welcome and giving them an excellent experience has been at the heart of the project to reimagine Dorset Museum. Our team has been working in consultation with our local community to bring an exciting and engaging programme of activities for families to enjoy. Our galleries have also been designed with a range of needs in mind, offering tactile and interactive displays that engage, inspire and bring our collection to life. We're so proud to be shortlisted in the Kids in Museums Best Small Museum category so soon after opening our doors. Enabling families to enjoy the museum has been at the heart of the recent transformation of the building, galleries and engagement programme. Family trails, sensory backpacks, a calm space, buggy park and changing places toilets help ensure a family visit is as stress-free and enjoyable as possible." The museum will now be visited by undercover family judges who will assess the museum against the Kids in Museums manifesto. Their experiences will decide a winner for each award category and an overall winner of the Family Friendly Museum Award 2021. The winners will be announced at an awards ceremony in October. An art exhibition bringing together I've still got the Dorset Museum. Let's get rid of that. There we go. An art exhibition bringing together around 100 contemporary artists to raise funds for the Dorset and Somerset Air Ambulance opens next week. The exhibition is online, but buyers are able to contact the artist to purchase works or to buy them online via the website. There will be a mixture of genres and mediums on show, with a lot of the works at very affordable prices. It will feature some well-known Dorset artists such as Gabrielle Bill, Christine Rogers and Martin Layton. In fact, that's one of Martin Layton's pictures there up on the screen. The exhibition is being organised by Art Gallery Southwest. To view the exhibition, go to their website at www.artsw.co.uk. So that's www.artsw.co.uk, and the exhibition will be up from Friday. That's Friday the 16th of July. The Co-op is rolling out recycling collection points for plastic bags and product wrappings to thousands of stores to tackle waste, so the retailer has told us. The initiative will mean that all Co-op's own brand food packaging will be recyclable, either via local authority curbside collections or through the in-store collection points. Recycling units for soft plastics, which are unlikely to be collected by the councils, such as crisp packets, carrier bags, bread bags, ready meal and yoghurt lids, biscuit wrappers and pet food pouches, are being launched in 1,500 Co-op stores across the UK this month. The initiative, which the Co-op claims is Europe's most extensive in-store recycling scheme for plastic bags and product wrappings, will be rolled out to 2,300 of its 2,600 food stores by November. The retailer estimates that 300 tonnes of plastic bags and food wrapping could be collected each year once the bins are fully in place. Well, with just a week until the start of the school summer break, Weymouth is in high demand amid arrival of the classic British seaside holiday. The town is fighting back from the ravages of the pandemic thanks to the hard work, grit and determination from people working to rebuild their businesses and the tourism industry, sometimes against all the odds. According to Dorset Council, this summer is unprecedented. It's impossible to predict visitor numbers, although there are early indications that the holiday season will continue long into the autumn. The council has spent the last month in conversations with businesses and industry experts to hear their real-life stories, the challenges they have overcome, and how the coronavirus has been the catalyst for innovation and positive change. One person commenting is Vicky Cordell of the Leam Hotel in Weymouth on the Esplanade, and she says, "We've been very busy since we've been allowed to reopen, and we are fully booked every weekend and already taking bookings into September," which is fantastic. So good luck to Vicky and all the other business owners in Weymouth, whether it's tourist or otherwise, as they start to open up and hopefully get back to normal. Also, residents in Weymouth and Portland can now benefit from state-of-the-art ultrasound health scan facilities on their doorstep. Dorset Healthcare and Dorset County Hospital have joined forces to provide new equipment and services at Weymouth Community Hospital, meaning people can go there for examinations instead of travelling to Dorchester. The £150,000 improvements at Weymouth Hospital include a new ultrasound scanning room and machine and an upgraded reception area. Specialist staff from Dorset County Hospital will be located in Weymouth 3 days a week to see patients who require an ultrasound, reducing waiting times, increasing clinic capacity and providing more services locally for people. The comprehensive ultrasound services for patients at Weymouth will now include pregnancy scans and more specialist examinations such as vascular scans, that's of the blood vessels, and musculoskeletal scans such as tendons and ligaments. It's good news actually for Weymouth Hospital. They have gradually increase the number of services that are available locally. Certainly things like X-ray facilities are absolutely fantastic there, so this is another welcome move. Weymouth Town Council are asking for feedback from residents about parks and open spaces in and around the town, with all respondents to their survey being entered into a prize draw to win a £100 Love to Shop voucher. So it's well worth having a go. You might win that £100 voucher. Residents' feedback gathered from the survey will be used to improve the parks and open spaces around the town to make them even better for the community. It will help the council to plan for the coming years and understand how our public spaces can be best meeting the needs of the community. If you're interested in taking part in that survey and for a chance to win that £100, the survey can be found at www.surveymonkey.co.uk/r/J9X9GP6. Now I'll repeat that again, but I'm sure if you pop along to the Weymouth Town Council website, you'll find the information there. But just in case not, it's www.surveymonkey.co.uk/r/J9X9GP6. And finally, in our headlines tonight, the Queen Elizabeth, who has been moored off Weymouth for a lot of the time over the last year or so, has had its first cruises cancelled after an outbreak of COVID-19 among its crew. The cruise liner, which was hit by several positive COVID cases whilst off the coast of Weymouth, was due to return to service after suspending sailings, obviously due to the pandemic. Now, though, Cunard, the company which operates the ship, has said it has been unable to complete the final essential preparations due to the outbreak, and it's now delaying the return of the Queen Elizabeth into service until August the 13th. This means that the first 5 scheduled voyages on board the ship have had to be cancelled because of the small number of cases being identified amongst new crew members joining the ship. Cunard President Simon Pallenthorpe said, working in conjunction with Southampton Port Health, we took immediate steps to successfully contain the situation, and we have limited the number of new crew joining the ship. This has meant, however, that we were not able to complete the final essential preparations or deliver the comprehensive training schedule to the full required contingent of crew prior to the first scheduled sailing. The first cruise for the ship was due to be a trip to Cornwall from Southampton on July the 19th. Of course, all guests booked on the affected voyages will receive a full refund or a future cruise credit worth 110% of what they have paid. So Cunard, they're looking after their customers despite the unfortunate circumstances. And there we go. It's just coming up to 19 minutes past 6, and that's the end of our headlines tonight. Our first story tonight is one of history. We have mentioned over recent weeks that this year marks the 450th anniversary of the merging of Weymouth and Melcombe Regis, and events are being held throughout the town, and the first ones of those happened recently at the Nose Fort with the Melway Games. And events will go on to the end of the year. This week, Janet Hall is looking at the Arts Festival that will be held at the end of September, which will be based at All Saints Church here in White Regis. Of course, All Saints Church, although it's prominent now as a historic building high above White Regis, was also a very important building at the time of the merger of Weymouth with Melcombe Regis. In fact, it was the main church in Weymouth 450 years ago. So we hear from Janet now about what is planned currently in White Regis.
Hello. Do you remember a few weeks ago I told you about the Weymouth 450 celebration and how we at All Saints plan to hold an art and flower exhibition? Today I am in the studio trying to sort out what art I might put in to the exhibition. I know it can be in any style, something I've already done and had around for a while, or something new that I've painted specially for the occasion. I also know that I can only do 2 works, which for me is always a bit of a problem, and that they shouldn't exceed 0.7 metres in width. The first picture I've been working on is a picture of a shipwreck, the wreck of the Earl of Abergavenny, which went down off the coast of Portland with great loss of life, including its captain, John Wordsworth, who was the brother of the poet William Wordsworth. I've chose it because for one reason it's got a great connection with All Saints Church, as John Wordsworth was buried in the churchyard and there is a memorial to him in the church. I also love painting storms. I love letting myself go with the waves and foam, and I love rocks and bad seas. So it was just the subject for me, really. I've just finished that one now, but it will have to go in a frame. I'll get a frame to put it in and I'll make it ready for hanging so that it will be easy for the exhibitors. Now I've got to choose a second picture. And which one? I may do something where the sea is a little gentler and calmer, like the one behind me. Or I could do something more abstract, like this one. If I was quite honest with you, that was done while I was still at Lulworth, but the sea connection and the lobster pots apply to Weymouth just as much. You don't have to use paint. Most of mine are acrylic, although I'm using oil a lot now, so if I did a new painting it would probably be in oil. But it could be watercolour, or it could be pastel. This one behind me is done in pastel. The only one where I won't have to put it in a frame is a canvas board like the one behind. You might want to work in fabrics, in which case it could be framed or made into a hanging for the wall. When I've decided finally which pictures to choose, I will take photographs of them and send them in as a submission of what I would like to put into the exhibition. Send your photographs digitally to this address. All entries have to be in by September the 1st at the latest. All the pictures will then be looked at and we will decide which ones are most appropriate for the exhibition and fit the space best. Once yours has been included, we will ask you to get it to the exhibition with a card saying which media you have used, your name, and a price if you want to sell it. The picture should have a name too. It's always fun choosing one of them. Well, I must get on now. Plenty to do, but I look forward to seeing what you can do. What paintings have you got that show the spirit of Weymouth over the last 450 years? Seaside pictures, pictures of the country around here, pictures of the fleet, pictures of pebbles. You might do one of our church. All kinds of things that you could show in your painting to show the spirit of Weymouth. Bye for now.
Thank you, Janet. And as well as that art exhibition over that weekend in September, there will be a photographic exhibition as well. And there is going to be a concert and some historic talks as well. So more information on that to follow. And information is going up on the Parish of Warwick Regis website this week. So look out for that and see if there's something for you in that festival to mark the 450th anniversary of Weymouth and Melcombe Regis coming together. Moving on, this week we've heard that the Chinese government has said that there has been progress in protecting the giant panda and that the numbers have increased. So this week our reporter Lydia has been finding out what the actual situation is with the giant panda population.
China has announced this week that the giant panda is no longer an endangered species. The number of giant pandas in the wild have grown to at least 1,800, an increase of almost 20% in the last 10 years. Although some studies say there may actually be between 2,000 and 3,000. Due to the increase in numbers in the wild, they have now been classified as vulnerable, rather than endangered by the Chinese authorities. The giant panda, or Ailuropoda melanoluca, to quote its Latin name, also known as the panda bear, or more simply the panda, is native to south-central China. We all recognize it by its characteristic bold black and white coat and rounded body. The name, giant panda, is sometimes used to distinguish it from the red panda, which is much smaller. China's Department of Nature and Ecology Conservation have said that populations of other rare species have also increased significantly. This includes the Siberian tiger, Northeast Asian leopard, Asian elephant and crested ibis. Giant pandas were first listed as endangered in 1990, but Chinese officials have said their conservation efforts, such as replanting forests and repopulating areas of bamboo, have led to the increased numbers. Whilst giant pandas have the digestive system of a carnivore, they have evolved to eat mostly a diet of bamboo shoots and leaves, now making up more than 99% of its diet. Giant pandas in the wild will occasionally eat other grasses, wild tubers, or even meat in the form of birds, rodents, or carrion. The giant panda lives in a few mountain ranges in central China. As a result of farming, deforestation, and other development, the giant panda has been driven out of the lowland areas where it once lived. A 2007 report showed that there were 239 pandas living in captivity inside China and another 27 outside the country. As of December 2014, 49 giant pandas lived in captivity outside China, living in 18 zoos in 13 different countries. In captivity, they may receive honey, eggs, fish, yams, shrub leaves, oranges, or bananas along with specially prepared food as part of their diet. Edinburgh Zoo is home to the only giant pandas in the UK, and they are on a 10-year loan from China. The female is called Tian Tian, which translates as sweetie, and the male is Yang Guang, which translates as sunshine. Both pandas have very similar, but separate enclosures, as giant pandas are entirely solitary animals that only meet once a year during the breeding season. In March 2015, conservation news site Mongabay stated that the wild giant panda population had increased by 268 to 1,864. In 2016, the International Union for Conservation of Nature reclassified the species from endangered to vulnerable, affirming decade-long efforts to save the panda. This has now been ratified this week by the Chinese authorities, also reclassifying the giant panda as vulnerable, rather than endangered. While the dragon has often served as China's national symbol, internationally the giant panda has often filled this role. As such, it is becoming widely used within China in international contexts, for example, appearing since 1982 on gold panda bullion coins and as one of the 5 Fua mascots of the Beijing Olympics. So a good news story for conservation activities in China and the giant panda. Back to Gary in the studio.
Brilliant, thank you, Lydia. A good news story there on giant pandas that came from the Chinese government this week, backing up information that come from international conservation charities over the last couple of years. Quick time check for you. It's just gone at 6:28. Our third and final main story tonight follows our story really on Co-op. We mentioned that Co-op have taken some major steps on recycling plastics. But recycling plastics is just one of the streams of waste that we need to tackle. Another stream is household electrical goods. Each year, millions of items are dumped as we buy new items because they can't be repaired. But we can do more to make them easier to repair, or if not, to recycle the materials and reduce the waste that's going to landfill. The UK Parliament has been looking at this, and new legislation is coming in to make it easier for us to make items repairable and easier to dispose of old goods by taking them back to the shops or the suppliers for recycling. It surprised me in looking into this item that the UK produces 3 times more electronic waste than the average country, and it actually works out for every member of the UK population that we produce 23.9 kilograms of electronic waste each year. The UK Commons Environmental Audit Committee has put together a short report to tell us about the problem and what it's proposing to do about it.
Electronic waste is having a huge impact on the environment by contaminating soil, water, and even the air around us. But there is a solution to this problem. What if the next time you bought a kettle on Amazon, they took away your old one for free?
In the UK, we actually produce more e-waste per person than any country in the world apart from Norway. Everyone each year is producing 23.9 kilograms worth of electronic waste, which is more than you'd be allowed to take onto an airplane in a big suitcase. And that compares to a smaller average in the EU. It's just 16 kilograms per person. And actually the global average is only around 7 kilograms per person. So we're 3 times worse than the average country.
E-waste is complicated, so here are 3 areas we're going to focus on and what we think can fix them. Repairability, making recycling easier, and wasting precious materials. So why is it so hard to repair broken electronics?
Yeah, so manufacturers are doing everything to lock out independent repairers by making it difficult for them to access information about certain product and how to repair it. These are restricted from manufacturers, but often third parties get them through other people, through leaks, but that's not ideal. And then there's the affordability of spare parts, where manufacturers are keeping the cost of genuine spare parts artificially high.
Another issue manufacturers have created is the gluing and soldering of parts. Instead of simply screwing components into devices or using ports that components can slip in and out of, manufacturers have opted to start using glue to fix components in place and solder to connect components together, with the claim that this makes devices more durable.
Manufacturers themselves have products that show that they can both be durable and repairable. So this question of whether making something repairable makes it less, let's say, waterproof, it's bogus.
Imagine you need to change the tyre on a car, but the wheel has been welded to the axle. That tyre just became a lot more difficult and expensive to change.
With too much glue and with soldered in components, the price of repairs goes up and DIY repairs become much less viable.
So if electronics can't be repaired, how are they being thrown away? In the UK, we create 1.5 million tonnes of e-waste a year. 2/3 of that is not recycled. Of that 2/3, 155,000 tonnes are thrown out in household waste, sending it to landfill or incineration. The amount of e-waste we throw out every year weighs the same as 15 Eiffel Towers. So what can be done to encourage more people to recycle their electronics? As of January 1st, 2021, all high street electronic retailers in the UK must take any small e-waste a customer brings them and send it on to a recycling facility. This responsibility only applies to high street retailers. Why do the online companies get exemption from this? Some online retailers have voluntarily implemented this into their service, such as Dixon's Carphone.
Yes, we rolled out our small box collection service at the end of 2018. In its full first year of operation, 2019, we actually saw an increase of 215% of small electricals that we collected. Whenever a customer has a home delivery for a big item, such as a fridge, washing machine or a large screen TV, we have a service in place where we will take away their old one. In addition to that service, at the same time, they can hand over any small electrical item and we'll take that away for free to be recycled as well.
So it is perfectly possible for online retailers to adopt a convenient e-waste recycling service. Yet Amazon, the UK's biggest online retailer, does not offer an easy-to-use service like this.
I think the reason must be very simple, that actually it's a bit of a faff and it adds extra cost to them, and so they're not interested in providing that level of support. And that's very distressing. If we make e-waste recycling easy, we will get higher recycling rates. It's that simple.
Imagine a world where every online retailer, including Amazon, picked up your unwanted small electronics from your front door whenever you received a delivery from them. If it was that convenient, wouldn't you recycle more? Sending e-waste to landfill means we lose critical raw materials, also known as CRMs.
So these are minerals and metals that exist in the earth in finite quantities, and they're also things that we tend to need a lot of and are increasingly needing more of.
CRMs come from all over the world, and most crucially are in limited supply.
So many of these critical raw materials are used in our personal electronic devices like our phones and our laptops, but they're also really important for things like healthcare, surgical implants, new medicines, and also renewable energy and electric vehicles.
Some CRMs are so rare they are predicted to run out completely by the end of the century.
At the moment, we're really losing a lot of value. We're losing a lot of critical raw materials because at the moment still there's really a need to have processes, but also the infrastructure to go hand in hand with that, to extract these type of critical raw materials from our devices more efficiently.
We need to invest in the science. So at the moment, the science to extract the really small quantities of metal and separate them out from each other is still in its infancy. So that's a really important thing that we have to work on.
So how do we fix the e-waste problem? Make electronics easier and more affordable to repair. Require all retailers, including online ones, to be responsible for the collection and disposal of small unwanted electronics. Invest more money in adopting more efficient recycling processes. By accepting recommendations like this, maybe we can make pictures like this a thing of the past. As a House of Commons committee, we're in a position where we can actually make recommendations on issues like this directly to the government. So we did. As part of our inquiry, Electronic Waste and the Circular Economy, we made these 3 recommendations, as well as 24 others, to the government who are obligated to respond to them. And they have. The government response includes new rules for manufacturers, who must now make spare parts available for white goods such as fridges and washing machines, along with electrical goods like TVs. And from the summer of 2021, these new rules will be a legal obligation in the UK, marking the first steps towards a circular economy, where we use, reuse and recycle products. If you want to read our report in full, along with the government's response to our recommendations, you can at parliament.uk/EACOM.
So there we go, another area where it looks like we're actually getting some success in the future on recycling. We've heard about the plastic bags from Co-op. We do our home recycling and now our electrical goods. Those millions and millions of tons that ends up in landfill. Hopefully in the future will be a lot less. Time check, it's 18:37 or 6:37. It's now time for the national weather forecast, and I think this week we are joined by Alex Deacon again over at the Met Office.
Hello again. Strong signs of the weather calming down somewhat later next week. Before we get there, the rather mixed picture continues this weekend. There will again be some very heavy showers around, but the winds are light, which means 2 things. The showers will be slow moving, so some places getting a real soaking, but it also means some places won't see the showers and will just stay dry and bright with some sunshine. Through Saturday evening, still a potential for further heavy showers across northern Britain and the odd one further south, but for many it will be dry through much of the night. But notice bands of cloud gathering behind me. Fairly weak weather fronts just pushing in through Sunday. A dry start for many, but again we'll watch showers develop through the day, and again where they form they could be pretty heavy. Difficult to say exactly where, but parts of northeast England look fairly susceptible to those downpours, and again across parts of Scotland, particularly the Highlands. Things turning increasingly cloudy and soggy across Wales and southwest England. Parts of the southeast, though, may have a largely dry day on Sunday, and also maybe parts of central and southwest Scotland maybe not seeing those showers. So it is kind of a hit and miss weekend, and again, whether you see the showers or a bit of sunshine makes a big difference to the temperatures, but generally these temperatures still below average for the time of year, peaking at 21, maybe 22, and certainly feeling cooler when the showers come along. Charts for the start of next week don't look too promising, with low pressure still close by. That could bring some very heavy showers across the southeast. That's something we need to keep an eye on. But look at this. As we go through next week, slowly but surely, high pressure is building in, it looks like, from the Azores, and that should, certainly by midweek, start to bring more settled weather, turning drier and probably sunnier and a bit warmer as well after a showery start. Now, with the details for this weekend, make sure you keep up to date over the next 24 to 48 hours. Best way to do that, download the app. You can watch the radar yourself then, or of course make sure you're following us on social media.
Thank you, Alex. And now looking for the local weather in Weymouth this week. It's going to remain changeable until the middle of the week, start of Wednesday, with showers and sunny periods, and the temperatures the same as they are roughly now on the sort of moderate side. But from Wednesday onwards, you will see that the rain disappears and the daytime temperatures are up around the 23 degrees. So a nice end to the second part of the week. Let's look at the traffic and travel now. Roadworks in the coming week. Wessex Water are working in Broadmeadow Road, Scottish and Southern in Hillcrest Road, SGN Networks in Wyke Road, BT will be in Verne Road and Cumberland Drive. None of these are expected to cause any major delays. The good news is that the works on the junction by the Rock Hotel on Abbotsbury Road are gone, as they have been causing some problems over the last couple of weeks. On the trains, there are major engineering works taking place in the Bristol area from today until Friday the 3rd of September, so right through the summer period, and it will have an effect on all services, or across the services, not on all services, but it will affect Great Western and South Western trains at times. Obviously part of the major upgrading of networks. Now on to What's On, and before we do our What's On events, I want to say a special belated happy birthday to Val, so I'm going to play my dodgy birthday jingle if it works. There we go, that was for Val for a belated happy birthday for this week. We like to mention people with their birthdays if we know about them, so if you've got a birthday coming up, do let us know. But on the wider What's On, the remote controlled tanks will be at the Knowth Fort on the 18th of July, that's next weekend. That's from Southern Armour Group. They tend to be there once a month during the summer. And also Beyond the Barricade is on at the Pavilion as well. That's on Saturday the 24th of July, celebrating a fantastic 22 years touring. The UK's longest running musical theatre concert tour features past principal performers from Les Miserables and delivers over 2 hours of the best of Broadway and the West End. That sounds fun. 24th of July, that's at the Knowth Fort. Join Wessex Musical Theatre for an evening of delightful songs of the stage and screen. And then back at the Pavilion on Sunday the 25th of July, Bye Bye Baby, a celebration of the music of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, presented by Europe's #1 tribute, Bye Bye Baby. It's going to be a jaw-dropping tribute to the musical phenomenon Jersey Boys and the timeless iconic music of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. That sounds fun too. So that's at the Pavilion. And then the very popular Pirates of the Pavilion, which usually runs over the summer period, is going to be at the Pavilion every Monday and Tuesday from the 26th of July through to the 31st of August. Of course, do go to the Pavilion website or the Knowth Fort website for more details of those events. And another new event coming up. Where are we? That's where it is. 1st of August, Dorset Food and Drink. Sorry, it's not a new event, it's a return event. Dorset Food and Drink returning to the Knowth Fort with one of their pop-up producers markets. On Saturday the 7th of August, the Poundbury Dorset Food and Arts Festival market is back. That's Saturday the 7th of August from 10 till 4 p.m. at the Greatfield Poundbury. That's for a showcase of bumper crop of local food, drink, crafts and community talent. And I think that's a free entry event there, supported by the Duchy of Cornwall. And back to the Knowth, the New Creatives Collective are presenting The Secret Garden at the Knowth on the 8th of August. Again, do look at the Knowth Fort website, the Pavilion website, for details of all of those sorts of things. And of course, we will be putting up some information on the Wyke Regis and website about the Weymouth 450 celebrations this coming week, when you can start to see some of the events that are going to be happening towards the end of the summer. Now it's our film review section, and I have to say I was really pleased when I got the information through on this one during the week. This week's film is a fully animated, full-length Scooby-Doo action-adventure for the whole family called Scoob. It's the never-before-told stories of Scooby-Doo's origins and the greatest mystery in the career of Mystery Inc. Scoob reveals how lifelong friends Scooby and Shaggy first met and how they joined with young detectives Fred, Velma and Daphne to form the famous Mystery Inc. Now, with hundreds of cases solved and adventures shared, Scooby and the gang face their biggest, most challenging mystery ever. A plot to unleash the ghost dog Cerberus upon the world. As they race to stop this global dog apocalypse, that's a mouthful, the gang discovers that Scooby has a secret legacy and an epic destiny greater than anyone imagined. Starring in Scoob are Will Forte as Scooby-Doo's best friend Shaggy, Gina Rodriguez as Velma, Zac Efron as Fred, Amanda Seyfried as Daphne, Frank Welker as Scooby-Doo, Mark Wahlberg as Blue Falcon, Jason Isaacs as the infamous Dick Dastardly, and, believe it or not, Simon Cowell as himself. Scoob is directed by Tony Cavone, Annie Award-winning nominee for the feature Space Jam and two-time Emmy nominee for his work on Duck Dodgers. The film is based on the characters created by Hanna-Barbera Productions. Scoob is going to be distributed by Warner Brother Pictures, and here's the trailer now.
Oh, it's about to start. You ready?
Ready.
Popcorn?
Butter.
Nachos?
Cheese.
Root beer with red licorice straw?
Right here. Maybe it's time we made our new movie.
Good idea, Scoob. But first we need a trailer. Oh, can you do the trailer guy voice?
Well, let me give it a shot. In a world destroyed by evil, discover the epic origin story of the greatest team of heroes in the history of mystery. Not bad.
Nailed it!
Oh.
Hey! This mangy stray's coming with me.
He's not a stray.
Okay, then. What's his name?
His name's Scooby.
Middle name?
Doobie?
Last name?
Do.
You said that we would always be. Without you, I feel lost at sea.
I love it.
The darkness,
I'll never take it off.
like the wind we be riding.
Aw.
Maybe don't do that again.
I'm Fred. This is Velma.
Hi.
And that's Daphne.
Hey, I'm Shaggy, and this is Scooby-Doo.
Nice to meet you.
Trick or treat.
Whoa. Shaggy and Scooby were taken?
Do you realize where we are?
No.
Look around, man. The clean, modern aesthetic, the cool blue color palette. We're in
IKEA.
the Falcon Fury. Did you say IKEA?
Nope, I said Falcon Fury, just like you.
Maybe this can lead us to Scooby and Shaggy. Trace amounts of mustache oil, 12-year-old scotch.
Ugh. Is the bad guy my dad?
There we go. That's Scoob, which is in cinemas now from Warner Brothers. I think that'd be well worth a visit. I always used to like Scooby-Doo. So we've come towards the end of our programme now, and just to remind you some of the things happening over the next few days. The regular services at All Saints Church are at 8 o'clock and 9:30 tomorrow. The 9:30 one is live stream, and St Edmund's Church at 11 o'clock. We've got our quiz programme on this evening at 7:30 on all the usual channels. You'll be most welcome to join us. And on Friday we have our gardening programme, Year Gardening with Clive Gray. That's there every Friday night at 7 o'clock. Of course, all of our programmes you can catch up on at any time, as the recordings stay up on YouTube and Facebook for you to revisit. And of course, I like to promote our other community voluntary services in the media area, and our three local community radio stations. Chesil Radio, available just on the internet. Keep 106, available on FM and on the internet. And Air 107.2, again available on FM and on the internet. They are all run by volunteers. They're all slightly different in their outlook, so I'm sure there's something there for everyone. But they provide a service across the week, 7 days a week, for the local people of South Dorset, Weymouth and Portland and Dorchester. So please do give them a listen. And that brings us to the end of our programme for this week. And it just leaves me to say good night and hope to see you again next Saturday at 6 o'clock.